Hi everybody, I've been on calls all evening. I thought I've not done a live for ages, or feels like ages. I'm sure it's not ages. It's just something we've been talking about today with a couple of different people actually. And it's a question that I've been wanting to ask people. So people want what I've got, shall we say. So what's happened to me, I'm sure you're all sick of hearing about it, is that I've completely transformed my business and my life over the last 12 to 18 months, but particularly, hi Kylie, but particularly over the last 5 months, as Kylie will attest. She does my books for me, amongst plenty of other things, I'm sure she'll agree, is that I've had a really successful year so far financially, but more important than that is I've managed to structure my business in a way that means that I have freedom. So that means freedom from having to work for anybody or work alongside anybody in a one-to-one sort of way. I have no clients. I don't have to be anywhere at a particular time or a particular place, apart from the odd time when I do a workshop, and they are kind of few-ish and far between, but they're definitely done on my own terms, and it's brilliant. So I have everything that I've ever dreamed of in terms of my flexibility. I can work from anywhere. I can go on holiday and still work. I can. My boyfriend works in the business now, so we have less flexibility. You know, when the school holidays are here, we'll be able to go anywhere and work from anywhere. And it's brilliant and it's fantastic, and there's not a minute of any day where I don't feel super grateful. But what's happened is that people want to do what I've done, which is great, and I want people to do what I've done. I'm really passionate about helping other people do the same. Yeah, and my mission in life is to get more people into the position I'm at, from the position I was in. So again, if you see my stuff, you'll know like things have not always been brilliant for me, and now they are, which is great. So I'm really passionate about helping other people. And there's a few ways that I do this. And hi Simon. But I think what people don't realise is that it feels like I've been this like overnight success, and in a lot of ways I have. But the thing is, I really grafted. That first 12 months when I was transitioning from running the agency full time to doing the coaching, like when I launched my £99 sessions, just over a year ago, I did hundreds of them. Like that, I'm not exaggerating. I did hundreds of those £99 sessions. They were one-on-one sessions that I had to be there for, and I was running the agency, so I had all the agency stuff going on, and I was doing these hour-long sessions, morning, noon, night, weekends, with people all over the world. Some nights I was working till midnight. Well, lots of nights I was working till midnight, but sometimes I was on calls till like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night. You know, I was up early doing calls. I was working all day, but I needed to do that. I needed to do that bit. And it was really hard work. You know, I was exhausted. You know, I was really like, I was loving it. I got a lot of energy from it, but I was really doing it. So I was promoting my £99 sessions online. So I was in every free Facebook group you can be at. I was building my reputation online. I was like talking to people. I was adding value. I was answering questions. I was, of course, doing my guest experting, which has been the biggest like transformational thing ever in business. You know, I was posting all over Facebook. I was posting on LinkedIn. I didn't have the team that I have now. I was doing a lot of the work myself. So I was marketing like 6% of the time, plus running a job, full-time business, running an agency, plus doing all these hour sessions to really hone my craft with the LinkedIn training stuff. Plus I was then following up on my marketing for the morning. So I'm not here for sympathy. I'm just saying like, that period was intense, you know, it was incredibly intense. But I needed to do it. I needed to graft because nobody knew who I was. Nobody knew what I did. Nobody cared. And nobody was ever going to buy anything from me if I didn't do that. So when people say like, oh, but it's like, you know, you have run all these online courses and you run the mastermind, you know, you got 50 people in, all paying you like 1,200 quid, that's loads of money, and it is loads of money, and you got 13 in January, that's loads of money, and you just need to, you know, check Facebook that they're okay, and do your lives once a fortnight, and that's brilliant. It is brilliant. People want that, and I can see I wanted this, and I can see why other people want it, but it doesn't just happen. You don't just say, right, I'm going to launch a mastermind, And it happens, you have to have done the graft first. You have to have done all the stuff that makes you super uncomfortable. So like I was going to offline networking, I was going to networking in the day, in the evening, going physically, getting out of my house, getting in my car, going to networking, standing up and saying, I help people get leads on LinkedIn, I do this £99 session. You know, I was doing that 2, 3, 4, 5 times a week, plus posting on Facebook 24/7, you know, posting on LinkedIn all the time, you know, really, really, really going like crazy. And I had no life. You know, I had no life for a good 6 or 7 months. I'd say I was really, really, really pushing it. If you want the good stuff, so now I've got the good stuff. Yeah, I don't need to post all the time on social media. You know, I just keep my hand in. I have a team of people now, so it's like heaven. You know, I don't need to be posting all the time aggressively, like everywhere I go. I don't need to be doing offline networking all day, every day. I don't need to do one-on-one sessions anymore. So it's brilliant. So this is the outcome of the graft. This is the reward. Like, there's nothing special about me. I was completely unknown for LinkedIn training. I just started networking offline and online I brought my new thing to the world, and I made it accessible for people, but I had to do that. You know, it's not scalable to do hour sessions, but I tell you what, it absolutely nails your thing. So it gets people to know you, it gets people to buy from you at a price point that they can accept, that it gets people to give you the social proof that you need. You know, you can't, and you need to prove your own concept. You need to prove that it works. So you might think you've got this brilliant thing. And believe me, I've had these thoughts before. I have launched stuff before that has just died on its arse. And the reason why I wasn't guest expert in, there wasn't an accessible way for people to test it at a price point that they could afford. I thought they wanted it. Nobody told me they wanted it. Guess what? They didn't want it. And I wasted a load of time and money making things that people don't want to buy. But with the LinkedIn stuff, I didn't launch a mastermind straight away. I didn't go, right, I'm going to teach you how to do LinkedIn. It's 1,200 quid. You know, blah, blah, blah. That wasn't my first post. You know, that was my first post was, I can help you get leads on LinkedIn. It's £99 and it's an hour of my time, you know. And just that I just think some people are like, oh, I want what you've got, you know, which is great. I want people to want what I've got, but you've got to realise you've got to be prepared to do the work. And I mean, you've got to be prepared to graft. You've got to be prepared to sacrifice. And I hate the word hustle, but when I look back, I think maybe that is what I was doing. Maybe that is what's needed. It's not forever, but for a short period of time, you have got to be prepared to put the work in. Even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. So when you feel like you don't want to do any more marketing and you don't want to do any more sessions and you don't want to do any more calls, that's when you've got to keep going. That's when you're like a foot from goal, because you have got to be everywhere all of the time when nobody knows you and nobody cares. Then once you've done that, then it becomes easier. Everybody knows you. Everybody's talking about you. Everybody's referring people to you. Some people don't like you, which is fine, because that's like, you know, all publicity is good publicity. Some people love you, some people hate you, but the most important thing is people are talking about you. I didn't spend a penny on advertising in that first few months. I didn't have any money, so you know, I didn't reinvest it all. I spent it on people to help me so I could focus on the bits that only I could do. So the real, like the posting, the answering the questions, the adding value, the doing the calls, the guest expert is the key. That's the one thing that I did that completely transformed everything. People think it's because I was always on social media, and that is part of it, but it's only like half of it. The other half is the guest expert. And the reason why guest expert is so powerful is because it is immediately elevates you. It immediately makes, when somebody else brings you in. So when I talk about guest expert, what I mean by that is when a lead, so we have a Facebook group, and then there's a private Facebook group, it's normally paid for, and there's a leader of these things. Yeah. So what happens is, so you've got all of the people in the big group, and then you've got a smaller section who are paying to be closer, if you like, to the leader. It's very common kind of business model. Especially over the last 12 to 18 months. But what I mean by guest expert is when the leader of that group brings you in as the expert in your thing. So in my case, LinkedIn. In your case, something completely different. unless you're LinkedIn, then it's LinkedIn. But when they bring you in, there's things happen there that you couldn't pay for and you could never get off your own back. And that is what I call influencer juice. So when you get brought into a private group, you've got an audience there that's already been built by somebody else's hard graft. So they've already built it, they've blood, sweat and tears to get those people in there, into the free group and then into the paid group. Those people have been curated for you by somebody else. And then the people in the group have this huge respect for the leader, and we know that for a fact because they are paying to be in his or her group. So you've got that energy is very, very different. And then when you're presented as the leader's choice of expert, suddenly you could be in that private group, you could be in that free group all day long saying how you can help people and adding value and answering questions, but you're one of them. But when you are brought in as the expert, you become the expert. And that's the fact. Then you get, if you play it right with a guest expert, there's a system that you use and you have to kind of, and it's something that I've developed over doing maybe 40 of them. And bear in mind, most of them are done in the evening, so I did at least 40, probably more. I need to sit down and write them all out. But I work with some amazing people, you know, Dan Meredith, Gemma Wen, John Buchan. I've got so many, Justin Devonshire. I don't want to start naming them all because I know I'll miss loads. I've just some amazing people who brought me in as their expert, and it just elevates you straight away. But you have to do the work to get them. You know, they are doing you the favour, not the other way around. So the process is kind of like around designing your thing. So making sure the thing that you're going to talk about is relevant, you know, and it's interesting and there's a real clear outcome. And then pitching for your thing, delivering it. How do you market it beforehand? How do you do it on the day? How do you follow up with it afterwards? How do you then use the social proof of that guest expert spot to leverage the time that you've spent doing it so that more people, so you can tell more people about it, which again raises your profile, aligns you up with that leader, and then other people want you to come and guest experts. So that's really the one thing that I did that completely transformed the business for me. So all I wanted to say really was, if you want what I've got, brilliant. I can help you. I can give you. I can help you. I can, you know, advise you as best I can. I can talk about what I've done. I can show you what I've done. You know, I can help you with LinkedIn. Obviously, I can help you guest expert with a new course. You know, there's lots of things I can do to help you, but I can't do the work. You have to be prepared to do the work yourself first, and it can happen quickly. It's 12 months for me. It's not a long time. But if you're not prepared to put in the work, these things don't just happen overnight. You know, you have to put in the work. So as long as you're prepared to do the work and be relentless, at least for the first 12 months. After that, it's different because you've done that work and you know, it's a bit like when you get a promotion in corporate land, you very rarely slip back. It's almost like you've got to do everything you need to do to get that promotion, and then that's your new level. So I'm in a new level now, which is great. May or may not last forever, I don't know. But to get from completely unknown for something to people wanting to work with you and wanting to give you money to be part of your world, there's some work to be done there. So if you're prepared to do the work, you'll be brilliant. If you expect to be able to just turn up one day and be like, this is who I am, this is what I do, buy my stuff, just doesn't work like that. So hopefully that was inspirational, but not too demoralising, because when I say work, it's not really work, is it? We're not going down any mines. We're not doing open heart surgery. You know, we are just being active and visible on social media after all. It's not exactly the hardest work you'll ever do. But, you know, you just need to be consistent. You know, you can't, if you want to reap the benefits, then you've got to, you know, do the stuff that's, you know, not everyone wants to do until you can afford to outsource most of it. But you can't outsource yourself, so focus on what you can do and just make sure that you're as visible as possible. And of course, don't be that big fish in a small pond. Don't get to the point where you think everyone knows you and everyone's seen your stuff, because they definitely haven't. There's lots of other people out there, and that's another thing about guest experting. You'll get into groups of people you would never have got into otherwise, so that makes it doubly powerful. So hopefully that's useful. Guest experts coming out soon. I'm super excited. nervous because it's my first thing that's not LinkedIn since I started as a independent coach and trainer. So we'll see, but I'm pretty confident that it's going to solve a problem for a lot of people, because I know people they think that like a lot of it's around posting, and it is, there's a big chunk of it like that, but that alone won't really elevate you where you need to go if you want to scale quickly anyway. Guest experting is the absolute key that unlock things for me. So the course will just be a way of taking people from never done a guest expert spot to having done one and being ready to do their next. So I'm really excited about that. Beta launching on Tuesday. So I've got 5 or 6 people signed up. I'm doing it for half price, which isn't like me. But if you know anybody who wants to help me test the brand new guest expert course and be part of the small beta test, then send them my way, please. That would be amazing. Have a lovely evening, everybody, and nice to see you all. Bye.